myself and giving myself everything I need. Had some rough nights lately, but I'm feeling light. Sun on my face, wind in my hair, color so bright. Tryna smile instead of quick to battle on sight. Loving it now, choosing what's really worth the fight. Lust for the clouds, mountains, and the rain. Understanding through my dreams that there's a path to heal pain. Getting lit to stay lit, it just don't hit the same. Got so sick and tired of playing the game, yeah. Can't let it keep me down, no. Can't let it keep me down, no. Gotta stay in the now. About my style. Can't let it keep me down, no. Can't let it keep me down, no. Gotta stay in the now. Yeah. Finally finding peace. Shatter illusions, movement sets me free. Finally I can be. Surrender myself and now life tastes so sweet. Yeah. Hoping I keep moving in the right direction. Gotta take the yin with the yang, it's all a testing. Open to the notion that everything is a lesson, and that we're always being sent another message. Traveling all terrain to gain perspective. Switch the view that said it's true that I'm defective. Been to hell and back, but I continue to stay reflective and give the wisdom all right back to the collective. Let's go. Can't let it keep me down. Can't let it keep me down. Gotta stay in the now. About my style. Can't let it keep me down. Can't let it keep me down. Gotta stay in the now. Gotta stay in the now. Finally finding me. Third eye opening up so I can see. Finally I can breathe. Loving myself and giving myself everything I need. Had some rough nights lately, but I'm feeling light. Sun on my face, wind in my hair, color so bright. Tryna smile instead of quick to battle on sight. Loving it now, choosing what's really worth the fight. Lust for the clouds, mountains, and the rain. Understanding through my dreams that there's a path to heal pain. Getting lit to stay lit, it just don't hit the same. Got so sick and tired of playing the game, yeah. Can't let it keep me down, no. Can't let it keep me down, no. Gotta stay in the now. About my style. Can't let it keep me down, no. Can't let it keep me down. Gotta stay in the now. Yeah. Finally finding peace. Shatter illusions, movement sets me free. Finally I can be. Surrender myself and now life tastes so sweet. Yeah. Hoping I keep moving in the right direction. Gotta take the yin with the yang, it's all a testing. Open to the notion that everything is a lesson, and that we're always being sent another message. Traveling all terrain to gain perspective. Switch the view that said it's true that I'm defective. Been to hell and back, but I continue to stay reflective and give the wisdom all right back to the collective. Let's go. Can't let it keep me down. Can't let it keep me down. Gotta stay in the now. About my style. Can't let it keep me down. Can't let it keep me down. Gotta stay in the now. Gotta stay in the now.
She's calling me. My mic's not on. I turned it on. I turned it on. I turned it on. I just turned it on. Uh, I'm so sorry. I thought I had my mic on. Crap. Okay, that was my mama calling me to tell me I didn't have my mic on. Nothing like a good mama, right? Right. Okay. So let me go back all the way back. This is I am Coach Ruth, and welcome to 15 to Life, where we learn, grow, and serve for a peaceful life. In our time that we have together, I not only prepare you for this week, the next month, but for the rest of your life. If you are new here, thank you to all of my new followers, my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to 15 to Life. And let me show you something really quick because you may not know a lot about me. So I want to show you my website that you can go to and learn a little bit more about me. But here's my website. It is IamRuthWard.com. IamRuthWard.com. And you can see I'm trying to get there. I'm having a women's retreat in April. It's April 11th through April 13th. It's a Thursday through a Saturday. Love to have you come and be a part of that. Also, so you can click on the links there and get more information about it. I do believe that all of the single rooms are sold out, but if you want a double room, if you want a room with a friend, those we still have plenty of those available. But you can also click on the About button, and there's all this information about me there, my background. And then also, if you want to connect with me, you can learn more about the coaching part. You can see where I have spoken at different events. And you also will see my signature outreach event called Serving Our Sisters. And that is where we pour into unhoused women and children living in the Louisville, Kentucky area and Southern Indiana. And it's an event that's all about them. And it's a wonderful event. So you can click on connect, go down to SOS, and you will see that if you would like to support that outreach event. I normally have it every September. It's always in September. And what we do is we give them all kinds of home goods. Everything is free. And we also have healthcare services for them. And we serve them lunch. And it's just a wonderful day of service for us. That we can give back to someone, because we know that for the grace of God, that could be any of us, right? So again, if you're new here, you can go to IamRuthWard.com, learn more about me, and also put your name in the comment section and say that I'm new here, because we want to welcome you to our community. And you will see we call ourselves lifers because we are doing life together. So yeah, so this is just a great community. Like I said before I realized that my mic wasn't on, is that I was always on Sunday nights for about 2 years, maybe 3 years, 2.5 years. And I'll be on Sunday nights from 6 p.m. to 6:15 p.m. just for that 15 minutes. And we built a great community, but I felt that I wanted to expand my viewership and those that were watching, because I really felt like that we had something to offer to grow our community. And so I made a commitment to go on live for 30 days and see what we do. So I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers on here. So thank you for the new subscribers. If you know of someone who you think that would love this, share it with them. And so we can grow our community. Yes. All right. So let me get to where I need to get to so I can talk about what I want to talk about today. So what I'm doing, what I was doing for the past week or so was I was really talking about 15 to Life. And I was talking about my tagline, where I say where we learn, grow, and serve. Because first, it's all a journey, right? You have to learn first And then once you learn, then you can grow, because you can't grow unless you learn something, right? So once you learn, then you grow. Once you grow, then you can serve. You can serve others. And so that's what I just want to talk about briefly today, is the importance of serving, and really why we should serve others. I have in the thing that service is universal. And that was one of the things that y'all hear me talk all the time, because y'all know I love Prince Harry and Meghan. And one of the things with them was when they were sort of wanting to be half in with a working royal and half out. And so, because they wanted to be able to do their own thing as well, and they still wanted to serve the British royal family and do all the, ribbon cuttings and all those kinds of things. But they were like, nope, you're either in all the way or you're out all the way. And so then they were like, okay, deuces, we're out, right? But one of the points that they made was, one of the things that they said is service is universal. That you don't have to be in the British royal family to serve. And anybody can serve. And serve is what they are doing. I mean, they are doing the thing. So why serve here? And this is a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. It says, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? What is that? Who said I was talking my hiney off? Someone. Saw that. Wasn't I? I was pathetic. I was talking my little, you were absolutely right. She said hiney. I was. Yes. Okay. All right. Let me give, I'm sorry. Yes, I was. I'm sorry. Okay. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Because you all know that we live in a society where it is all about us. And I talk about taking care of yourself. And you do have to take care of number one first. You do. Because you can't take care of other people if you don't take care of yourself first. So I am a proponent of making sure that you eat right and go to the doctor and get your checkups and make sure that your mental health is right and all those things. You got to be right. You got to be healthy. You got to be whole, because you can't take care of anybody else if you're not, because you're going to vomit on them. You're going to put all your bad stuff on them. Right? So, however, it can't 100% all the time be about you, because then we get puffed up. Then it's like a lake that has no outlet. Then you become toxic, because then it becomes all about you. So you have to have that outlet. You've heard me talk about the Dead Sea, and there's a river, I believe, that flows into the Dead Sea, but there's no outlet for the Dead Sea. So there's nothing living in it, like literally, like there's no fish. No, it's just water with a bunch of salt in it. That's like big old clumps of salt. But there's no plants, nothing, because there's no outlet. And so it's just nothing but salt in it. And so we don't want to be that way. Yes, we have to take care of ourselves, but then we also have to have that outlet so that we can take care of others, right? So you see this picture here, and this was, if you are my age, well, if you're a little bit younger, you may not remember MTV Cribs, and these are movies. All this stuff was from back in the 80s. The 80s was a time, was all about excess. And it was, you see a picture of what they call McMansions there, with the big old house, and that's almost like a mansion, but it's not quite. They call them McMansions. And you had this show with Robin Leach, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. You really can't see, it's kind of small. It's on the back of a car, and it says, he who dies with the most toys wins. because it was all about getting. You have, the movie Wall Street. It was all about the big houses, the money, the everything. Like, I got to have the biggest boat. Not just a boat. I got to have the yacht. I got to have the private jet. I got to have the best woman on my arm. It was almost like Trump Towers with the gold toilet and the gold bathroom and just excess that was just vulgar. That's what it was all about during that time. It was all about me. I got to have the biggest, the best, and the most. And it was a very toxic time. And of course, eventually, it's not sustainable. And so then it crashes, right? It all crashed. And then they had what was it? The real estate crash, I believe in 2008 or something like that, I want to say, where it was like the housing boom, everything just crashed because it's just not sustainable, right? So here's a scripture. It says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." So God has created us to do good works. He has created us. Now, we all have a different specific good work to do, but God has created you to do good works. There's something good that you are supposed to do, right? Okay. And then, so why should we serve? Why should we serve? Because it keeps you humble. I'm going back to, when in the 80s, when I was talking about that and how, everything was excess, not access, excess, 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 right? So when you have so much, a lot of times, if your mind's not right, then it's all about you. All right. So one of the reasons you should serve is because it keeps you humble. It keeps you knowing that you could be there. That's one of the reasons why when I have my event, SOS, that I really am adamant with the volunteers that come and serve, that we love on those women, that there is no judgment. There is no, we're looking at them like, ooh, you living in a homeless, you're unhoused, you're living in a homeless shelter, your children don't, because we know that for the grace of God, we might be a paycheck or two away from that, right? So when you serve others, it keeps you humble because you get to see, not that you look at them like, look at me and you're there. It's not that, okay? It's not like the man in the Bible where you had the poor man who was praying in the church and wouldn't lift up his head. And he's just, like, God, I'm not even worthy to be here. But then you had the other man, rich man, who was watching the poor man pray and was like, oh God, I thank you that I am not like that poor man. Oh, look at him. Oh my God. So we're not looking at them like that at all, but it serves as a reminder. It serves as a reminder, and it keeps you humble because and then sometimes it can remind us of where we came from, right? It can remind us of where we came from. I always like to say, I tell people all the time that when I grew up, I said, I believe that we were upper lower class, that we weren't necessarily middle class because, it was my mom and dad, and I had 7 brothers and sisters. So it was like 8 kids in the house and mom and dad. So we were like upper lower class. I mean, we had a house and, it was like a 4-bedroom house, but, we had 1 bathroom, basically 1 and maybe a half. I'll say it this way. We had 2 bathrooms, but they equaled up to 1 bathroom, if that makes sense. One day I'll explain all that. So we were poor. Absolutely, we were poor. But there were people who were worse than us. But, I just say we were upper lower class, if that makes sense. We weren't quite middle class, but, all right. So it keeps you humble. That's why even today, because I wore hand-me-downs all the way through high school. I wore hand-me-downs. It wasn't until I graduated from high school and started working my first job at then Bacon's department store, which created a monster. But that's only when that's when I started it wearing new clothes that somebody else hadn't worn, because I either wore my sister's clothes or I wore a lady that my mom worked with. Her daughter was the same age, and when she would get new clothes, she would give my mother a big bag of her own old clothes, and I would go through them like, oh my God. So even to this day, like, I love going to consignment shops. I love going to flea markets. I love looking at that kind of stuff. And I don't look at it like, somebody else owned that. Hey, if it's good and I like it, I'll get it. Okay. So it keeps you humble. And there's a scripture, and for some reason, I can't see my comments. So if I'm not commenting on you, unless I pull them up for some reason, and my husband's not here to fix it for me, so I can't fix that one. Okay, so here we go. The best antidote I know for worry is work. The best cure for weariness is the challenge of helping someone who is even more tired. One of the great ironies of life is this: he or she who serves almost always benefits more than he or she who is served. And that is so true, because, like I said, when we have our event, SOS, we feel so fulfilled when we finish that event. If there's anybody who has served in SOS, you can put a comment in there and say, yes, I served, and, I had a wonderful time, or say how you felt serving in that event. Or if you have ever served in any other capacity, how did you feel once you finished serving? How did you feel when you served someone else? Right? Again, I'm thinking about, I remember as a child in the church that I grew up in, and we would have foot washing. Anybody remember foot washing? And we would have to wash people's feet, and they would make us, the younger ones, they would make us wash the old people's feet. Yeah. So can you imagine you're a teenager and you're having to wash this little lady's old feet, and she's got like what we used to call toe jam in between her toes and all that kind of stuff. And it ain't like you had gloves on, right? You just washing it with your hands. This is way back. And because they made us, we didn't want to serve, because it was like, man, y'all just trying to punish us for some reason just because we kids and stuff. So I'm talking about a time where you served and you really felt good about serving. Like, what did you do? And how did that make you feel? Okay. So here's the next thing. Why we should serve is someone needs what you have to give. Somebody needs what you got. Everybody has something to give. Everybody has something to give. What are you giving? Okay. Somebody needs what you got. And so often we think that it has to be money, things like that. No, it could be a compliment. It could be a smile. It could be a hug. It could be you opening up the door for them. It doesn't always have to be, I got to give you some money. I got to go buy you something. I got to pay for your dinner. Sometimes, yes, it is, but not always. Sometimes it's just giving from the heart, right? And I tell you, I love nothing more than if I'm out and if I see another woman, and her hair is really laid, or she's got this really cute outfit on or something. I love stopping her and be like, oh, I love your outfit, or I love your hair. And you would just be surprised how they perk up just because you give them that compliment. Because, y'all know as women, we're not looking at her and going like, up and down, like looking at her like, what did Bernie Mac say? Like she's short, right? You're looking at her with admiration, right? And it has to be sincere now. Don't be saying nothing that's fake, right? So, okay, I'm trying to see. After the last SOS event, I felt humble and blessed and can't wait for this year's. Yeah, it's a wonderful time. Wonderful time. Yes, served and I loved it. Hey, Harriet, how are you guys doing? And but somebody needs what you got to give. Everybody got, ladies, you have something to give. And don't let the devil tell you, I don't have anything to give. I'm not like whatever, or this person, I don't have anything to give. Yes, you do. You do. You do. And like I said, it could be a smile, it could be a compliment, it could be OMG, my phone. I'm having all kinds of stuff today going on, right? First, my mic wasn't on. Someone said I was talking my hiney off. My mic wasn't even on. Now my spam risk, spam phone calls is coming through. But you got something to give, okay? Maybe that was the devil didn't want me to encourage you guys. But you got something to give. So don't let the enemy trick you into thinking that you don't. And just get out of yourself and give what you got, okay? And then here's the next thing. Here's a scripture. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. So God has gifted you with something. Everybody has a talent and gift. You don't want to be like that person, the story, the parable in the Bible where you had the rich man that was going away. And so he gave one person a talent, and then one talent he gave somebody else 2 talents, I believe, and maybe somebody else 5 talents. And he left. And when he came back, he expected, some profit off of what he had given them. And the first person was like, oh, I know you're a hard taskmaster and you sow where you reap where you haven't sown and all this kind of stuff. And I was scared of you. I didn't want to lose the one little thing you gave me. So I buried it. And he was so mad at him, right? But the other 2 that had like the 2 talents, 5 talents, whatever they were, they doubled it. Okay. But that's what God is expecting you to do. What he has given you, the talents, the gifts that he has given you, he's not expecting you to bury those things and be like, oh, this is nothing. This is just one little thing and I can't use it. No, he wants you to use whatever he has given you. And he is expecting you to use that. He's going to be angry with you if you just bury it and just be like, oh, I was scared, so I didn't use it. No, use that gift, that talent, whatever it is that he has given you. Okay. All right. Here's the next thing. It helps you to remember who you are. Sometimes we forget who we are. Goes back to, keeps us humble. Sometimes we forget. We forget our beginnings. We don't remember who we are. We don't remember those things that we were taught because we get caught up in our McMansion and the jet and all the designer stuff. And we forget, okay, what we were taught by Big Mama and my dear, right? So we need you to remember who you are when you serve. Helps you to remember. Don't forget who you are. Here's a scripture. Everybody can, not scripture, I'm sorry. Quote, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. And I love that because anybody can serve. Though there's not a person that has what does they say, rounded the corner or whatever on service. As much as I love Prince Harry and Meghan, they don't have, everything on service. If I talk to them, they would say, oh, you need to serve because we can't do it all. There's a world of people. Somebody is waiting on you. Somebody is waiting on you, okay, to serve them, to give them what you got. Somebody's waiting on you. And here's another one, and I'm almost done for the day. It helps you to find yourself. You're like, well, I know myself. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't. It helps you to find yourself. I love giving back. Who said that? Oh, Phyllis Keelan. Hello, Phyllis. Says, it helps you to find yourself. Sometimes we don't know who we are. And when you serve, I tell you, it was one of the things that, when I say this, y'all gonna be like, well, but you're telling it. But I'm not putting it on social media where I'm showing the person, because one of the things that I always hate to see on social media is, because you got to look at your motives, is, when there's some people and they're at a restaurant and the waitress is they're giving her tip, and everybody gives her $100 bill. Okay. And but they posted all over Facebook of what they have done, and they're showing the waitress and all that. I have a problem with that, because I feel like if you're going to do it, just do it. Okay. You don't have to post it all on Facebook and Instagram and post all that, because then you might be are you really doing it for her, or are you doing it for yourself? Because you want likes. You want people to be like, oh my God, look at them. Look what they did for her. They gave her, $1,000 tip because everybody gave her $100, because then it becomes about you, right? And not about the person that the waitress. And so one of the things that, and you've heard me talk about this before, that me and my son will do is when we would go, we used to go to Bob Evans all the time. I know, because I love their breakfast. I do. I love their sunshine skillet and their pancake. But anyway, so when we would go, we would always look for somebody to pay for their meal. And I would love it, because we would find the person. Normally it would be like maybe an elderly couple or a person like that. Or sometimes, or it might be like if it seemed like she was a young mother with children and by herself. But I always loved how once we would do that, and we would tell the waitress, we want to pay for the meal, but don't tell the person that it's us. And we would love seeing how when the waitress would tell them that somebody paid for their meal, and they're like looking all around. And there's been times where we were right across from somebody that we paid for their meal, and they never even looked our way because they never suspected it was us, which is fine because we did it out of the goodness of our heart. And that was just something that we wanted to do. But what I'm saying is we didn't post it on social media. We didn't go out and post the person and say, we were the ones that did it. And, it was just something that we wanted to do, that we loved doing. And even if I saw those persons today, I probably wouldn't even know who they were. It was just something that we wanted to do. So anybody can serve, but it helps you to find yourself. It helps you to know what's inside of you when you serve, because it checks your motives, right? So it helps you to check your motives. It does. It does. It does. And let me see here. Oh, this is the last one. I love this. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. When you are serving others, it helps you to find yourself, because you're losing yourself in the service of others. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. If you have been on here for some time, you all know I'm all about service, and I know so many of you are as well. But I want you to encourage somebody else to serve, to live it by example. So when that person says, oh, why'd you open up that door for them? Say, oh man, that's just who I am. That's just what I do. Why you give her that compliment? Well, maybe she needed it. Why you give that person that hug? No. So when you start doing those things, then you're living it, and you're living by example, and others will see it, and God gets the glory, right? So you feel good, but God gets the glory out of what you do when you serve others. Okay. I'm trying to see, some of these comments in here. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to say, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to grow. Not trying to. I am growing our community. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification button so that whenever I'm on, you will be notified. And then also give me that thumbs up. I don't know. Did y'all? Wait a minute. I'm trying to see. Did y'all give me some thumbs up today? I need y'all to, everybody who's on here, I need you to hit that thumbs up button right now. And then when I go off, that little button that says share, I want you to share this with somebody because you have a cousin, you got a girlfriend, you got a coworker or somebody who thinks it's all about them and they don't ever give it to anybody else. They need this. Okay. So share it with them. There's a little thing that says share. It looks like there's a little arrow, I think. And it says share. So make sure you share, subscribe, give me the thumbs up button, hit that notification button, and then share. Y'all like, she's won a whole lot. I am. I know I am. But I love you all to life. You guys, y'all my community. You're my heart. And that's right. God gets the glory out of it. He does. Because when we do it for us, doesn't mean do. Okay. Means do. Means nothing. But it's got to be for him. Also, if you have not watched yesterday morning, after my spin class, I went live and I was talking with my spin coach, Dale, and he is a great, funny guy. And oh man, y'all talk about me pushing y'all. He really pushes us on those on that spin bike, and he's a great guy. And so if you haven't watched that, make sure you go out there, watch that. Hit that thumbs up button. Tomorrow, I may not be in here again because y'all know I'm trying to switch it up. And so sometimes I'm here talking with you, just me. And then like yesterday, I was with my spin coach. And so tomorrow, who knows? I might be at the Y again. But those are like 7:00 in the morning, right? So you might have to watch those later. But at any rate, make sure that you're watching them. Make sure you give me those thumbs up button. All right. Hit that thumbs up for me. All right. Because I need that likes. I need those. Okay. So I am getting ready to get off of here. I want you all to have a beautiful rest of your day. Y'all know that I love you. I believe in you. I believe in your dreams. But most importantly, I believe in your action. So you got to get out there and do it, right? Get out there and do it and serve. Look for a way to serve. Look for someone to serve. Look for someone to give them a smile. Look for someone that needs a hug. Look for that person that you need to give that compliment to. Maybe look for that person that you can slip a $20 bill in their pocket or whatever, or that person that's in the grocery store and maybe they only have a couple things and you just say, hey, I'm going to pay that for you. Look for those opportunities to serve. And I promise you, they are there. You just got to open up your eyes and look for them because they are there. All right. I love you guys. I am out of here and I will see you all tomorrow. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Finally finding me. Third eye opening up so I can see. Finally I can breathe. And giving myself everything I need. Had some rough nights lately, but I'm feeling light. Sun on my face, wind in my hair, color so bright. Trying to smile instead of quick to battle on sight. Loving it now, choosing what's really worth the fight. Lust for the clouds, mountains, and the rain. Understanding through my dreams that there's a path to heal pain. Getting lit to stay lit, it just don't hit the same. Got so sick and tired of playing the game, yeah.